Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo, and I am here this morning for yet another new thing. The Promised Neverland just aired, and so we're gonna watch it. This episode is called 121045? Yep, that's it. 121045, which sounds like a code or designation number, potentially reminiscent of people in concentration camps. We'll see if it's actually like written on their wrists. If it is, then that's pretty clear. So this is a new show. I have not read the manga, so I am for the most part blind, except for what I think are minor, like episode 1 level spoilers, as far as general premise. If you're totally blind on this, then maybe don't listen to what I'm about to say, but I'm gonna tell you what I know, or what I think I know, because I like being transparent about that kind of stuff. So there's like a school thing where people are being raised and they're constantly told that there's like a promised land and they'll go there or something. But in reality, they're being raised as food for a race of demons. That's what I've heard. I don't actually know if that's true. It could have been not spoiled for me by people telling me the wrong things or whatever. It doesn't matter. That kind of story is reminiscent of, I don't know, there are plenty of stories like that in Western media, at least. One that I can think of is a weird movie. What's that movie called? It's called, like, The Island or something. I think it's called The Island. Right? The Island movie. Yeah. Ewan McGregor, co-produced by Michael Bay, Scarlett Johansson. Yeah, I've seen that. I remember this one. Right, so in The Island, spoilers for The Island, 2005 science fiction thriller film. If you haven't seen it, too bad. It was pretty okay, but it's like Escape from Dystopia. Yeah, exactly. It's Escape from Dystopia sci-fi film. These people are constantly told that they live in this isolated compound, and they're constantly told that they will be like taken to the island. Right, and it'll be great. You get randomly selected to go to the island, but they find out that they're actually clones, and they're all being used for organ harvesting, so that wealthy people in the outside world can live for a really long time. Yeah, so boy in island meets girl in island. They're both really hot because they're like rich people on the outside who need organ harvesting stuff, and then they try to escape and get followed by super police and stuff. It's pretty fine. Definitely a fun sci-fi romp. I don't expect that this will be in the same vein. What I expect is like lots of tension and mystery in the first episode, leading up to a big reveal at the end of the first episode that there are actually demon things, and then the rest of the story is them trying to escape or at least survive for a while. My thoughts going in are that my expectations of this show are inversely proportional to the amount of hype around this show. So this show has been hyped out the fucking wazoo, and every bit of hype that I see for it, my expectations go down, because I just feel like people are going to end up disappointed by the adaptation. Now, part of that is just that when you adapt a really popular piece of media that people really like, there are going to be things that they don't like about the adaptation, no matter how good it is. Harry Potter films are pretty damn good. They're condensing an entire book into a movie. They're pretty damn good at doing what they do, but there are a lot of people who think that they're total shit because they're not the exact same as the characters that they imagined in the world. Fine. Animation from manga is a little bit different because you've already got the character designs and you're just coloring them and making it move, right? But there are two places where I am worried about this show. And those places are the studio that's adapting it and the director who is helming the project. So just to make sure that I don't fuck this up, it's a Cloverworks show. Now, Cloverworks just produced Bunny Girl Senpai, which I found a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. But the strongest part of Bunny Girl Senpai was by far the writing. And so that's a direct carryover from the light novels. I think the dialogue writing was quite good. Yeah, I thought it was quite good. I recognized that the directing in the show was flat, but I overlooked that because I began to care about the characters and I liked it. So, whatever. Clover is an A1 Pictures offshoot, so it's a rebrand of one of A1 Pictures' many studios. And A1 has a history of making shows that I don't really care about, that just don't hook me or get me interested. Now, there are a couple of well-known A1 Pictures shows that I have not seen that are supposed to be quite good, namely Tsuritama and Sora no Woto, right? Yeah, I think those are the two. I just haven't seen those, so I can't judge them. But people are really looking for something, for like a thrill ride of some kind, for Yakusoko no Neverland. And maybe they'll be able to pull that through, and maybe they won't. I don't know. We'll find out. The person helming the project is Mamoru Kanbei. And from what I know about this show, and from what I know about Kanbei, it's pretty simple to see that the reason that he's been chosen for this is because of his history as the director of Elfen Lied and the episode director of the first episode of Elfen Lied. It's got sort of a similar vibe where it could lapse into horrible goriness. And so he makes sense as somebody to bring in on the project. Now, I don't know if he's a great director. He did direct Sora no Oto, or no Woto. I just don't know. I haven't seen enough of his work to be able to judge. But we'll see. We'll find out. So, Yakusoko no Neverland. I've got it up. It's on Crunchyroll. It's for premium boys. So, yeah, shill stuff. Let's do. Before shill stuff, if you want to watch the version of the video with the video in the video, there are links in the description to BitChute and Mega, so it'll be redirected there. If you want to watch it full screen with your own media, then there'll be a beep beep timer on YouTube, and it'll go boop 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 beep, and the usual thing. Okay, yeah. But the version on BitChute and Mega linked in the description will have the video over here area, and it'll be a thing. Yeah. If you like the content, go ahead and like the content. If you're not subbed and you want more of me blabbering at the camera, this is what I do, so you might want to sub. And if you are subbed and YouTube isn't doing its job and letting you know that my videos exist, the bell is supposed to be the solution for that. If you really like this content, want to support this channel, make sure that I can eat and, like, continue doing this, then patreon.com/Teeaboo is the place to go. You can give me money, and then I can spend it on food, and then everything is good. And then I can give you, like, early access to my longer running shows, and Discord access to hang out with a bunch of other people who are also watching my shit and talk about anime and stuff. It's pretty fine. It's pretty fun. Pretty fine. What does that even mean? It's like saying it's pretty okay, which I say pretty often. All right, anyway. Bleh. Let's get into this show, and let's find out what this 22-minute and 54-second thing is. Is it going to be a masterpiece? Is it going to be a travesty? I don't know. Maybe both. That would be cool. I call those monster pieces. Things that are so bad they're good. See this guy? This guy's an idiot. Yeah. Show. There will be a beep beep timer. It'll go boop 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 beep, and on the beep and the green light, that is the same frame that Crunchyroll goes from not playing to playing on my screen. So if you're playing along with your own media, that's when you want to push the button, I think. Let's do it. Beep beep timer goes here. Nice depth of field. Okay. Not the real mama, right? So thoughtful one, goofy one, and super chuny one, something like that. OP? This is pretty groovy. Ah, they've got they're branded on their necks. Okay. Okay. Whole class of kids. So that's not his number. Red string of fate, possibly, or it could be a blood trail. I think it's the string of fate. And it turns into a okay. Overworld? I haven't heard of them. Is she? Is that a girl? Oh, okay. 121045. Right. Not. I keep saying his, but I think that's female because skirt. Emma, something like that. Okay, faces. Helping little ones. Ha ha ha. Okay. So we're doing this whole everything is happy and great in this place. Okay. All three are 11. With eyes closed. Okay. This is a character that can flip to horribly evil in an instant. Ah, our first signs. So we want to build a pervasive feeling of there's something wrong here. Connie on the thing at the 12th. Tests timed. Scanning barcodes. This is an interesting backing track. So they're the three Smarties. Who's even giving this exposition? He's not an athlete, though. What are you reading? Mechanical something. False jump scare. That's gonna come back to bite you. I'm smarter than you. Telling other characters their weaknesses. Okay. We'll see if that becomes the thing. Looks pretty cute. Nope. Background clocks. It's the watch that Ray was carrying, right? This is a trick, right? Yep. Okay. That was an interesting effect. You're gonna see something you shouldn't see. Shut up, phone. Yeah, we're building this up to be really tense. What are you gonna see that you shouldn't see? Hey, what's up? Nice use of quiet to build tension. Repeat. What's on the other side? Magic. I don't know. Nope, they're being dead. Okay. There's the Peter. You won't have that choice, girl. All right. Well, you're gonna get your illusion shattered, little girl. Ah, mama. Picture off the wall. Yeah, showing them together the whole time. And off she goes. Okay. Do we see from their perspective? Tick, tick, tick. Time is running out. Oh, she's gonna try and give her back the bunny? Nope, you're gonna see what you shouldn't see. But the bunny. I don't think that's how this is gonna work. We've passed the threshold. We didn't put much emphasis on it. but that's okay. All right, we're doing some weird stuff with angles. Dog's eye view type stuff. Not quite, but good enough. What's up above? Nice, we are building some nice tension. What's in the back? Ruh-roh. It's not something good. Ooh, interesting shot. Nice sound design. Avoiding showing us what it actually is. Is it Connie's corpse? Probably. Yep. With a plant growing through it? That's interesting. Grab that bunny. Not humans, are they? Sick. Nice reveal. Nice. Hmm. Nice. We're gonna get one of these they're gone somehow reveals. Yep, okay. Well, you know the truth now. Yes, and you are the livestock. Yes. Yep. You can deny it as all you want, but shit's fucked. But you don't know what's out there. You can't prevent it, though. We don't know how much of the world is overrun by these creatures. Could be that humanity is only allowed to exist as farms. I don't know. I think that's the story. Ray's listening in? Yep, okay. That was a nice hard cut. So now Mama is gonna be on the lookout. I wonder what this pierced by plants aesthetic is. Okay, let me refresh Aroni, and then, warm this up, because there are a couple things that I want to look at. So the first things that I want to talk about are, okay, we've covered all the things that I've been spoiled on, so I'm blind going forward. I have no idea where we go from here. The color and character designs are both pretty good. I like the color palette of the show. It goes for this sort of when they're inside the home, at least everything's kind of grayed just a little bit, and then at night when they're carrying lanterns, it gets this kind of interesting lighting effect on their faces, which makes things pretty cool. There was a lot of technically good tension building stuff. The multiple false jump scares were there. And that's a classic sort of horror tension mystery type thing to do, is to do false jump scares, or jump scares that we know are coming, so that when the real one happens, it's even more frightening. So for example, when we see, what's his name, Norman, walk up behind the other kids, and then he jump scares all of them, haha. It's like, haha, hehehe. And it becomes like a rule of three type thing. We get two of them, and then the third one is the real scare, seeing the monsters. We are introduced to our three primary characters right off the bat, and their character traits are pretty clear from the very beginning, right? We meet these three. Emma is cute and exuberant and energetic. Ray is sort of quiet and Sasuke, like, Chuny-ish. And Norman is inquisitive but calm and strategic in his thinking, right? Just in terms of the questions that each of them, or the way that each of them interacts with the gate. She's all smiley and happy. He's all frowny and not. Don't go there because it's dangerous. And he's like, that's obviously a lie. So he's very in his own head, Chuny type And then she's, you know, inquisitive and curious and over the top energetic and cute. Like, what do you want to do if you go outside? I want to ride a giraffe. Wow! So we get a feel for her character right off the bat. We get a feel for his character, and then we get Norman, who has been silent up to this point. He walks up and he wonders calmly, I wonder what this gate is protecting us from. Right? So immediately we know all three of the main characters and what they're about and how they'll probably play off of each other. It's pretty simple. I mean, I like deeper character development than this, but this is a good way to set us up, knowing all three characters' names and their place in the tetrarchy, the trio. Yeah, it's pretty okay. The OP, right? Overworld. Who are you? Theme song for Blue Exorcist, Arslan Saiki, Bleach, The Gray Man. They've done a lot of theme songs. Okay. Cool. Neato. Neato burrito. Sort of an interesting song. I'm not going to listen to it again because copyright is difficult to deal with for music. But what I remember of it was it felt like a slightly funked out Japanese like J-pop song with a bunch of undertones of like slightly offbeat electronica that gave it a bit of a cacophonous feel, but I think that was intentional. That was like my general impression of it, just listening to it. Pretty good. Immediately set up on the calendar, and Connie being the next target. Some of these wide shots look kind of crap. Look like generic backgrounds, but the inside of the house is pretty well fleshed out, and I don't have any problems with the design. This whole scene where we've got little kids running around with all of them with unique character designs, unique hairstyles, it's pretty cute. It's pretty damn cute all over. We're immediately introduced to Connie and Dawn and Little Bunny, and their relationship starts being set up from the very beginning. We're seeing more of what we already saw from Emma, which is that she's exuberant and wants to help people and is full of life and energy and stuff like that. And I think it's then explicitly stated soon. You know, something like, you're always so exuberant. And then she does, yeah, here we go. We get this, like, scare, right? Where she turns around and is all scary. But in a cute way, and says, I'm gonna eat you. And we accent it with a camera cut. Like, all of the cuts have been different. Kind of interesting. But then we get a hard cut as soon as she turns around to the wide shot. I'm gonna eat you. Yeah, and then she chases them off screen. That's pretty cute. Teehehehe, and then snuggles up, and yeah, okay. Yeah. And then Norman has a character trait that I don't quite love, which is that he, as the genius smart guy, goes around telling people what their deal is. You know what I mean? Which is could be fine, it could be terrible. So far, it's okay. It just hasn't happened often enough to be really annoying yet. But if he ends up being the character who goes around telling people what their deal is so that they can, you know, to spark character development, then Norman becomes a total plot device and like, please don't do that. But we'll see. How old are you again? 5, blah, blah, blah. And then we meet Mama. How's she introduced to us? Okay. Yeah. What's off about her character design? Is it the way she's like this with her eyes and eyebrows? I think it is. It's almost not pandering. What's that word? It's not pandering. It's a synonym for condescending, but it's not quite. It's got a different connotation. Patronizing. Thank you. It's almost patronizing, the way that her eyebrows are drawn together, and the folds of her eyelids as well. Like this, right? Like, oh, you little child. I don't know. Yeah. And we focus on all of their marks. And this is our first like genuine tension build. We go silent, hear them say this, and then we've got this slow right? Okay. And the marks are definitely reminiscent of like concentration camp things. Or produce. Either one. Or tags on cattle. Any of those work. Then we get this test, and it's like it's weird, and I don't know that we're necessarily supposed to understand what's going on. I think they're scanning the barcode on the object that like answers the question or something like that. I don't know. We get the first signs of the tick, 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 which is, time running out, because time is a big thing here. It's definitely a big theme, which is potentially calling back to the croc in Peter Pan. Because I mean, it's called Neverland. They're a bunch of kids. Emma says explicitly that she never wants to grow up. She wants to stay here forever. Like, Peter Pan. I'm thinking that the tick 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 is somehow a callback to that. Like, time always coming on and catching up to you. It's one of the major themes of Hook's story in Peter Pan, so yeah, something like that. But we get that tick 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 as if the time that's being spent, that's being allocated for their testing, is also related to the time that they have left to live before becoming food. Yeah. And this scene is, like, I really like the color design for this scene. All of them lit from below. It's kind of spooky, kind of scary. And their intense focus on these monitors. And just the weirdness of the way that the test is being administered is really interesting. It's mechanical. It's sort of strange and weird and interesting. Yeah. And we get the results back. And, of course, the three of them are super magic babies. Like, they're the best. Okay. Like, why would we focus on anyone else? And then we get random characters. We don't even know which characters are speaking. Oh, okay, it's this kid. It's this guy speaking. Alright, I didn't see his mouth moving before. And they're just delivering exposition to us. And I hate this. Because we then, like, after this scene where exposition is delivered to us on all three of the major characters, like what they do and what they do best, we go and we play tag. And, like, all of the things that are said explicitly are then shown to us. So they didn't need to be said, or they didn't need to be shown. Preferably, they didn't need to be said. Because it's all shown to us by Emma running, Norman catching people, Norman outthinking this guy, and then Ray sitting quietly reading his book and then telling them that Norman is good at strategy. Like, all of it is there, you know? It's all there. So why did we need this 30-second scene of these three are different? Ray, an intellect who can compete against Norman's genius, Norman, a genius who has the best brains, and Emma with amazing athletic skills, and her learning ability allows her to stay close to the other two. Wow, great. Why do we get told all of this? Because we're too stupid to get it from later? From when it's shown to us explicitly? Like, why do we need to state it? It shows a bit of a distrust in the audience, is my issue. See, as an audience member, I like when a show trusts that I'm paying attention and, like, drops hints about character motivations and character abilities without explicitly beating me over the head with them. In this case, it chooses to do both, which makes it redundant and beating me over the head with it. Meh. Off goes Norman. We get this jump scare from behind, right? Jump scare. What it is he jump scares all of the people, all of the kids there. We as the audience are in Norman's shoes from his position, so we're not scared by this. But it's an effective way to set up the idea of there are scary things. You know? Right, Connie? Thank you for always helping me, Don. So we're setting up their relationship. Uh-huh. Anywhere, anytime you need, I'll help you. Yeah. Good luck with that. Connie as a character is super built to die. Right. So then Norman walks up and tells this guy what his deal is. Your weakness is that you make quick judgment and lose your cool. Oh, okay. Well, it's Norman after all. Emma is the only survivor, and we see her athletic ability. Like, she can keep up with Norman athletically, and then she can exceed him. We see that when she jumps an insane distance across this gap. So why did we need to get told that? And then as he's walking around, we've got these clocks in the background. This is an interesting thematic thing. I assume that this is in the manga straight up as a theme thing. The rest of the background is kind of meh. It's okay. It's fine. There's at least a variety of plants. And the lighting on the rock is pretty cool. But then there's just this otherworldly giant clock plastered in the middle of the scene. So it's, hey, time ticks away. And then we see him strategize. Then he tells her what her weakness is. Weakness is. Your weakness is that you're nice. Your kindness is your weakness. What do you think Norman has? Right. See, all of this is a stronger way to give us that same exposition that we got before on the three characters and what their strengths are. Having Ray doing it is stronger because it also sets up him, right? It shows that he's got a perceptiveness for his peers. So why did we need the random characters who we don't care about giving exposition on the three characters that we are supposed to care about? Why is it there? Still can't tell what his book says. Right? It's like chess, but using your entire body. And then we set up, right. Yeah, but you're a better tactician than me, Ray. Okay. Norman thinks that Ray's a better tactician. Okay. I kind of think that we're making strategy and tactics, we're using them as the same thing, which is going to be weird for me to wrap my head around because Legend of the Galactic Heroes, something else that I'm watching, constantly hammers in that there is a difference between strategy and tactics, and it's an important difference. So I'll try and ignore that. Reading the enemy's moves, right. Not even close when it comes to Mom, so we set her up as even better and even more thoughtful. So at this point, I started thinking that Mama has shown mildly preferential treatment toward Emma, and is the best strategist out of all of them, or the best thinker, right? So I have to wonder, would Mama be looking to groom Emma to take her place? Because to keep this farm going, they need humans who can act as the mother figures and who can outthink the children, right? So you would probably want to take one of the children and somehow try to indoctrinate them into being willing to sacrifice everyone else for food. Something like that. Okay, we go to the... Yeah, this is pretty cool. We go here. What's the time that I wrote down? 9:50. Great, okay. Yeah, it's this scene. What's going on here? Do you see the way that the scenery stretches? You see that, right? It's not quite parallax. It's not that there are layers. This hill and these trees here are one layer. This hill and these trees here are another layer. And then this is its own layer, I think ending right here, right? These are 3 layers that I think move independently, but they're also stretching. Like, look at these trees in particular. You see that? Like, they're actually stretching. It's an interesting effect because it really does make it feel like our angle on everything is changing. It's just a little bit odd. Gives a really unique feel to the pan up. Okay, then we go and we talk at the gate. Or the fence, right? Right. That's obviously a lie, and we sort of repeat all the stuff we talked about the gate. What part of this is dangerous? Well, it's sort of like, cattle trained not to jump a fence, or to just run through the fence. Right, we get this whole conversation, and, like, yeah, you're not getting any letters from outside. They're all dead. I guess this might have been more effective if I didn't know the big reveal, but... Everyone talks about what they want to do. Emma says, I want to stay here forever. This is a very Lost Boys type conversation. I'll write lots of letters. No, you won't. You're set up to die. Then we get this. Mama taking down the picture. Right. I'm slow and I wasn't as smart as everyone. Yeah. She leaves little bunny. Mama is humming a really creepy tune. And the way she's lit with the lantern, nice and creepy. I like it. Yeah, and then when we get into this hallway, we start shooting it from below. This is pretty much an impossible camera angle because the positioning of our camera is probably just below the surface of the ground where they're walking. But that gives us this sort of distorted perspective of the wall, almost fisheye-ish, and really drives home how much bigger this world is than they are, how tiny they are in this world, which is great. We meet Truck-kun. We've got, the choice to have this drip throughout the scene is solid. It's sort of a creepy beat to the scene. And it allows them to use it to punctuate terrifying moments. And then this scene where we get her entire expression of horror from dropping the bunny and then the way she moves her legs. She sort of stumbles backward. She almost falls backward and then catches herself and then takes more steps back. It's really gorgeous animation. I really like this cut. Very effective. Then we transition into a blurred out face and then she stands back. Then this scene, we're in a dynamic camera CG environment. For this, you can just tell by the way that the bricks are over here, the way that these bricks move, and the fact that we have a dynamic camera motion, and it moves to bring her into frame and him, and that's kind of a unique and interesting cut as well. I like it. The way he sort of steels himself, like, there's something horrible here, I will move forward anyway. Then we move to his perspective. And his horror. Yay. And she's got a one of those plants through her chest, right? Or through her stomach or something. Oh, it's through her kidney or liver. That area. Ow. So that's interesting. And then we get little flashes of the demons. They are pretty damn horrifying. We've got this tank, which I believe is called the Goopna. The Goopna. Something like that. All the human flesh on this farm are high-quality meat intended for the rich. And we've got scribble dibbles over here. Weird language that doesn't make sense. And the plant is still in there, right? Yeah, I think so. Those are its leaves floating around. Yeah, is the Goopna done? So there's a hierarchy of demons, for sure. Normal quality ones, and then we want to harvest the tippy top tier, these three. Make preparations to pluck these three with full scores. And then her face has changed significantly. There's this darkness around her eyes, and she's no longer pushing her eyebrows together. They're flat and relaxed. Yeah. No longer patronizing. All the demons appear to have unique designs. They're gone. That girl wasn't Connie, right? No, it was Connie. And then Ray is listening. How will us kids get away from these monsters? Well, and then we get this hard cut. Oh, this is so good. Nice. And the drips, nice. And her face is wonderfully horrifying. It's gorgeous. All right, so I'm gonna stop that recording. And this was pretty good. This is good enough that I'll watch the next one. Yeah, the the biggest flaw with it, I would say, would be the beating us over the head with the character traits, but they just really want to establish these characters as the three smart kids who have unique personalities and abilities. So, fine. Okay, fine. It's an interesting setup. I feel like it'll be a rather straightforward escape from dystopia type story, but the big question is how long they end up staying in this dystopic house. Because if this can go two ways. It can go they leave and start running away in a horrifying world full of monsters, or they stay and they are hiding the knowledge that they have while trying to plan to leave, while Mama is the continuous major antagonist, like making sure, and they're trying to sneak around behind her back, and we get to find out just how horrifying she really is. Either way would be good. This was fun. I enjoyed this first episode, so I will keep watching it. Yeah, I think oh yeah, and then the other thing that I really liked, I liked the setup at the end where they say that it's going to be just like a game of tag, where we strategize and then we use our athletic abilities and we play chess with our whole bodies, and we make moves to get around and get out and escape. Nice, I like it. Anything else? No, I don't think so. I think that's about it. Yeah. Very good. I've been Teeaboo. This has been Yakusoko no Neverland, episode 1121045. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Peace.